I think Hades has to be maybe a month old, a month or two old, or something like crazy like that, right? And all our other fish are anywhere from like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. We have one that I think is like 10 years old, you know what I mean? And he's like you could tell he's freaked out, like what the fuck, like, so he's just doing laps around the pond, and the other fishes, they see him and they start swimming around him, they following him, they're like, yo, what's good? Like two of our black and white fish, we have like three other black and white fish, but they're more so white with like black spots, and one has like a red spot on his head. Fucking awesome koi fish. But they're just like swimming around him like, yo, homie, what's good? Like where you from? Like they're like just looking around and shit. Fire. Like I really enjoy that.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.
Oh shit. God damn it. We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Cervelli, back in the place to be, La Merca Superior Palace 81 Studios, live in effect, live and direct. It is still hot, bro. The whole week is gonna be in the hundreds, bro. What the fuck? Yo, Bobby Hunters is really out here changing the weather. Every day is gonna be like 100 degrees from now on until next week. I hate hot weather. I don't hate summer. I actually like summer because I get up earlier, I go for my walk, I play Pokemon, I get my exercise in. And it's really dope. You save a lot of time, you know what I mean? Versus like in the winter, it's like I'm sleeping in more. I'm waking up at the earliest 8 o'clock. Sometimes I sleep until 9, and I might not even go for a walk until later than that because it's cold, and I'll have to go when it's hotter out. I just love the cold weather. I prefer it a lot more than the heat. Me personally, I've never liked the hot weather. And they say that whenever, depending on like what season you were born and what the weather was, contributes to, I guess, your personality and what you like. I don't know if it's bullshit, but me personally, I was born when it was January. It was pouring rain pretty much every birthday of mine. There's been some sort of rain, whether it's been little sprinkles to straight up showers. I want to say my birthday, it rained this year, last year. From what I remember, every day it's rained on my birthday. I mean, I don't want to be one of those weird psychic tarot, fucking it rains all on my birthday all the time. Like, from what I remember, from what I know, maybe it's just been overcasted at some points. But pretty much from what I remember, every birthday I've had, it rains, So, and I love the cold weather. I love when it rains. This year in California, we had the most precipitation of rain, or whatever the fuck you call it, in like a long time. I remember, like in 2014, I remember it rained a lot. I actually had a Vine video, rest in peace Vine. I really wish they had archived everyone's Vines, but they took that down. I should have, and they had warned everybody like 100 times, like, we're gonna take Vine down, get your videos now, because Vine is gonna fucking just is gonna vanish in a thin air. And like a kid, I just didn't give a fuck, or just like I don't really care about shit like that. Like, if it's gone, it's gone, like whatever. But I had some really dope videos on there, like my niece when she was like 4, and a bunch of other cool clips of us working in the studio, or like I can't exactly remember, but like they were only 7 seconds, so it was really dope. You just catch a short clip. A lot of them was me smoking weed. One of them was, I forgot what we had to do for like our project for in college. I took a music class where you pretty much had to pick a song and like, I don't know if it was like a lyrical breakdown, but you had to do something along the lines of break down a song by an artist. And this person chose Amy Winehouse's, I think Love is Blind, right? I think it was Love is Blind. But I couldn't believe he chose the song because not that many people are in Amy Winehouse in the US. And if they are, it's like they like her popular songs. Rehab. Everyone knows Rehab by Rihanna. I mean, Rihanna. I was going to say, what the fuck is going on? Amy Winehouse. Everyone loves Rehab by Amy Winehouse. There's another one she has. There's another song. You Know I'm No Good. Like, those are her most popular songs that people know. And I feel like the end of her career, especially like the time period between, I'll say like '07 to 2011, I think is when she passed away. Though like that year, that 4-year period or whatever it was, the last few years of her life, I feel like a lot of people contribute her whole career to the last few years of her life, which I think is kind of lame. She really only has 3 albums. Frank, Back to Black, and Lioness Hidden Treasures, which is a posthumous album which had covers of songs that were already out. And I want to say she recorded a lot more other songs. I read her book. According to her father, she would always keep little like a little notebook or something like that and just write down lyrics, like wherever she could be at a restaurant and think of something, boom, like good idea, and just write it down, which is kind of not really what I do. What I do is really very, very like unprofessional or something like that, where I'll think of a bar and then I'll add on to that bar. Like I'll make a whole scheme, not a whole scheme. I'll make a whole rhyme pattern. I'll make a whole like multi-syllable type. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but I'll just think of a couple rhymes in my head and then I'll be like, I got to write that down. And then I never write it down. But the reason why I don't really save those bars is because they'll be random as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say, something about I'm off the top rope like Shelton Benjamin. It's all about the Benjamins. You ain't, your crew ain't shit, homies. We send them in. We get it in. Something like that. Like, where are you really gonna say shit like that? Versus, to me, those bars are so easy that I could just come up with it at any point. So there's no point in me saving them. But going back to Amy Winehouse, though, she was just a really dope artist that I feel like nobody really gives her the credit for. Everyone wants to attribute her career or her legacy to, she was just like a drug addict, she was just a drunk. And it's like, that's wrong. Yeah, she had her vices, and there's documentation of her being out in public all shit-faced, but to stamp her whole legacy as she was just a pretty much a drug addicted, whatever is lame, bro. Because when you listen to her music, she was phenomenal. I mean, probably my favorite singer of all time. I can't think of any singer that I like more than Amy Winehouse, as far as like how raw, how truthful, how passionate, and just how talented Amy Winehouse was. How talented she is. Like, she's forever, like, her music is forever to me. So I don't even want to consider her in like the past tense, because there's artists now that sing and they're nowhere near her level. I feel like an artist that ever got like that close to where like they just belt out these crazy octaves or whatever was maybe Adele, you know, something rolling in the deep or whatever. That's the only, don't nobody kill me out there because I'm not a fucking Adele fan. But like, as far as an artist that was anywhere near her skill, in my opinion, was probably Adele after. Now, obviously, there's singers before Amy Winehouse that were great, either on her level or bigger. But that shit, hold on, we got a detour real quick. I just got this Pokeball Plus Plus, and it makes like Pikachu noises. So I don't know what it just told me right now, but I don't know. Oh, it disconnected. That's what it was. Okay. But this shit is really cool, man. We'll get to this in a second. Going back to Amy Winehouse, man, my favorite album of hers is definitely Frank, when she wasn't on the drugs. I believe she was either 19 or 20 when she recorded that album. This is before her man had introduced her to fucking heroin and all these other drugs that got Amy off to a really bad place in her life. But Frank was basically like, she had a boyfriend at the time that she really loved, and that would, like, this one dude literally made her whole first album, which I think is crazy. And I feel like I take a lot from that. And in my writing, any of my songs, I feel like my best songs are like heartbreak songs because they're truthful. And I feel like some of my best material comes out of that, like the 340 series. I have 342, which came out in 2017, right? 2017, I want to say. Yeah, because that's when we dropped PNM when we did the tour. Or not a tour, but we did shows off of that. So 2017 was 342. 343 came out in February. 344 and 345 are unreleased. I don't know where I'm gonna put those on, and it's kind of like I'm working on getting those out ASAP. But Amy Winehouse is a big influence on me. I feel like there's nobody who could hold a candle to Amy Winehouse, past, present, or maybe even future, man. And she was just in her own lane. It wasn't like the 60s or 70s or whatever, where you had your lyrics written by someone else, and like they say like industry plants are like a new thing, but if you want to keep it real, industry plants have been a thing forever. There's not that many artists back then in the 60s and 70s that wrote their own lyrics, from what I know. I don't know shit. I mean, I know a lot about popular music like Motown and shit, and I know Berry Gordy wants to take credit, and what's my dude's name? He produced for Michael Jackson. Quincy Jones. I know he wrote a lot of music for other artists, but as far as artists, as far as artists writing their own lyrics, I feel like Amy Winehouse like just destroys everyone. She demolishes everybody, from like the songwriting, the structure, and her whole get down was, you could say it got repetitive with like the heartbreak songs, but there was a lot of material on her first album that I feel like stands the test of time now, from like her slower songs, like Moody's Mood for Love, where it's really jazzy and it's slow, to Take the Box, where it's like really her dealing with like a breakup. And the album is named Frank because that's the name of the dog that either belonged to her boyfriend. I think it belonged to her boyfriend. So it's a crazy, like, you don't even know who Frank is. And when you listen to Take the Box, and when she gets to that part where she's like, take the box, Frank's in there, I don't care, you're thinking like, who the fuck is Frank? Like, you like literally you listen to the whole album, and then this goes back to like how albums aren't even like albums anymore. When you look at or maybe this was in her book, because I don't even think when you look at when you would read the CD booklets, I don't even think this was in there. But Frank was the dog of like the boyfriend, I want to say. It was basically like their dog together. So she's basically talking about packing this full shit up and getting him the fuck out of her life. And it's a crazy, to me, like, that's not crazy, nobody, a big deal, whoop-de-doo, but like, to me, that's like, wow, because what artist is out here like really going in depth about that? The last artist that I think really spoke in her truth, that was like really great, that had really good music, was Beyonce. But even then, like, she was more so like on woman empowerment, and it was like very different. And she pretty much shitted on Jay-Z, but it was like in a more so like, fuck you, I'm gonna be the woman that you fucking missed out on, which is dope. And don't get me wrong, that's fly. I love the Lemonade album by Beyonce, but Amy Winehouse is just like, it's incomparable to every other artist. Like, no offense to any Beyonce haters, I just love Amy Winehouse forever. Her first album to this day is like probably my favorite R&B album of all time. Then we have Back to Black, which I feel like more so of her commercial. It was less jazzy, more pop, which is cool. You know, it was a good album too, but I feel like Frank was better. And then Lioness Hidden Treasures was like a bunch of covers and more acoustic, which is like every album has its own pockets of sonic places that you can listen and not get bored. Like, you'll listen to Frank the whole way, you'll listen to Back to Black the whole way, and then Lioness Hidden Treasures the whole way. And they're three very different albums, which I like. You know, unlike fucking a lot of music, including mine, where it's just very repetitive. It sounds like the same thing. You're getting like either boom bap or soul chops and shit like that. Not knocking my own shit, but it's like, with me, I feel like you really do get you know what you're gonna get versus I mean, Amy Winehouse has Salam Remy. That should tell you off the bat where we're gonna go with this fucking album. You know what I mean? Salam Remy bodied albums. I mean, bodied production, starting with the fucking Fugees, The Score, and Nas, and just so many other artists that I can't name off the top of my head right now. But Salam Remy was basically like the catalyst, the key, the backbone to Amy Winehouse's success, not even just financially or whatever, but musically. Like, Salam Remy is just that dude, you know? How do we even get to talking about Amy Winehouse? Oh, we're talking about my college. So yeah, the homie was playing Love Is Blind, and that's a sad song. I can't verbatim think of like the lyrics off of the top, but that's like a really sad song where she's talking about like she's basically talking about cheating on her man, and like she tries to justify that shit by saying, you know, it was dark and I was lying down, I pretended he was you, but I heard love is blind. Like, really, like, you, like, women, a woman would never say these kind of lyrics on an album now. Definitely no, but definitely you would never get an album like this. That's why I think SZA's so popular, because she'll say she has music that I feel like women will never say now. Like, now is like a big, like, women are super big in rap right now, but a lot of the lyrics is the same shit about they pussies too bomb, a man can't even get them, and yada yada yada, all this cool machismo shit coming from women. But I feel like that's why I feel SZA is so successful, because she'll say shit like, I just killed my ex, not the best idea, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's no other women is gonna say that. Like, Meg Thee Stallion's out here is talking about, you know, how her ass is too fat for people and all this other shit. I don't know if she really said that, but, you know, it's along those lines where, like, women, like, it's the empowerment movement, which I feel like Beyonce kind of kicked off. But that's just where it is with the music. Like, women are stepping into, like, this, like, I'm a fucking woman, you're gonna give me respect, and if you don't, it's fuck you. Versus SZA's more so like she's really bringing out how she really feels, which you kind of need both, but I really applaud SZA for going out and just saying, this is my truth and this is what goes on. And I appreciate that because I feel like my best tracks are the ones where it's like real shit, like 92 with JBL, where I'm talking about my cousin, 342 where I'm talking about this girl that I really like, but nothing like I was doing everything I could to kind of like be with this chick, and she just didn't want to be. She just didn't want, like, it was a whole situationship, you know what I mean? And that fucked me up heavy, like even to this day, which like it sounds like weak as was fuck, but I just feel like it's because I haven't really reached any connection like that with any other female. But I mean, that's life, bro. Like, that's not something you hear though. Like, a lot of people aren't gonna talk about that type of shit in their music. They're not gonna talk about how somebody hurt them and they're still hurting through it years later. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people will be like, oh, we talked about that already. But in reality, bro, like, pain is pain, and pain ain't temporary, bro. Some pain is like long lasting. So I really appreciate artists that are vulnerable and they give you like the realness instead of, oh, I got 100 fucking guns and you can get shot. That's cool, right? That sounds nice. It sounds all right. But when you're really alone by yourself and you're with your thoughts, you're not going to be thinking about the fucking 100 guns and all that bullshit. You're going to be thinking about some deep shit. And I feel like that's where the power of music comes from, where you just say like, I'm not gonna talk about nothing but like what's really going on in my life. So shout out to Amy Winehouse. May she rest easy forever in paradise, and I hope she's singing over there. She probably is making songs and shit about other people's dogs or whatever. I bought this black koi fish, I want to say 2 weeks ago. I want to buy another one tomorrow. We'll see how things go, but this black koi fish is beautiful. It's amazing. I think it's called a jinrin, which I think is black and metallic or black and silver in Japanese. Beautiful black koi fish. It's like black and white, and it has like gold specks on its back. I mean, easily one of the illest koi fish we have in a pond for sure. And I'm thinking about getting another one. I for sure want to get another one. I'm either thinking, because they have like two species of jinrin, one that looks like silver and white, and it don't have it does kind of like have black scales, but I'm like, I don't know about that one. Maybe I will get that one, because it doesn't really make sense to have two of like the same kind of black looking koi fish. Now that I think about it, I might do that now. But I love koi fish. I think I talked about this already. I don't know if I talked too in depth about it, but I named them HADES. Welcome home, HADES. I did a whole video about me releasing them into the pond, and it was crazy because you see all the other koi fish like swimming, like he's like kind of freaked out because he's a baby. Like, he's literally a little. I think HADES has to be maybe a month or 2 old, or something like crazy like that, right? And all our other fish are anywhere from like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. We have one that I think is like 10 years old, you know what I mean? And he's like you could tell he's freaked out, like, what the fuck? Like, so he's just doing laps around the pond, and the other fishes, they see him and they start swimming around him, they following him, they're like, yo, what's good? Like, 2 of our black and white fish, we have like 3 other black and white fish, but they're more so white with like black spots, and one has like a red spot on his head. Fucking awesome koi fish. But they're just like swimming around him like, yo, homie, what's good? Like where you from? Like, they're like just looking around and shit. Fire. Like, I really enjoy that. So HADES is home. I'll probably post a clip or something around here. Maybe I'll give you a little sneak peek of the video of me bringing Hades home, and it was crazy because they were all fired up. Like when the homie, he was looking for fish, he was like, "You want me to get you a good one?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I don't want a fucking fucked up fish. Like, give me a good one." So he like, out of a tank, they probably no lies, bro. They probably had like, I'll say like 50 to 60, 70 fish in this little pond that they had where they fished Hades out of, and they were hyper, like they were literally jumping out of the water, and one jumped out and fell onto the floor, and I was like, "Oh no, somebody get him!" And the lady, she ran over, she picked him up, threw him back in. So hopefully that doesn't damage the fish in any sort of way. I pray to God that the fish is okay and he got sold to a nice fucking family that got good food for him and all that shit. But he was hyper, like he was like, any subtle movements in the car, like he was darting and shit, like he was already like, fucking, what the fuck is going on? And he was ready to come home, and I feel like he's already, like, in these 2 weeks, I feel like he's already part of the family. Like when I come to feed the fish now, like he's already like, he's not the one of the first, because the first one is like this orange one I had that looked like Hermes, rest in peace, but it's probably like Hermes, this other orange fish that we have, and then I don't think I have a name for the white one that looked like Athena. Every time I think of Athena, man, I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe we lost Athena, dude. Our biggest fucking koi fish, the most beautiful golden koi fish we fucking had, is now no longer with us in the physical form. But now that we feed the fish, or I feed the fish, Hades is like, he's one of the last fish to come and get some food, but that's all right, because he only needs one pebble. Like our biggest fish will take like, let's just say like 10 little pellets or something like that. Like he'll go get like little groupings of food, and he'll dive down and he's good. The other fish will get like a little bit and they're good, but we have like we have 2 babies for sure, Hades and our new orange one, our new orange koi. Their Hades and that orange koi fish are like the same age, probably, because they're like the same size, and you get the sizes, you know, obviously by the years and all that shit. So Hades, all he needs is like 1 or 2 pebbles, and he's like good for the day, which always like trips me out. I'm like, damn, this fool, like one fucking, like literally one. We're talking about a little pebble like this, bro, and he's good. Like he's not eating. They snack on the algae on the rocks. This is probably what it is. He's probably snacking all day, and they'll eat that one pebble, and boom, that's his meal for the whole fucking day while he snacks and munches and shit. So welcome home, Hades, man. My coworker at my job. Shout out to the homie Doug, bro. You know, we were cool. We were cordial and all that. Same thing you always do with your coworkers. You're not really like best friends off the bat. But I seen this fool, we was chopping it up and all that. And my homie, the homie Oscar, I told him about my music and stuff. And Doug had walked in, and Oscar and Doug are like homies for life type shit. So Doug was like, what, you rap? He heard like one of my songs, and he was like, bro, this fool's dope. Like he's gonna be like on the TV and shit. Like they were really like hyping me up. And these are the 2 fools that like really got it off the bat. A lot of people listen to my music and they get it, but they don't get it all the way. You know, it's like they're like, oh, it just sounds like this, it sounds like this. My uncle told me my music sounds like gibberish, and he wonders why I don't be around. I'm like, bro, like you're fucking like disrespectful as gibberish. I just smacked the fuck out of myself right now. Gibberish, bruh, that's fucking wild, bruh. Like, how you gonna tell your own nephew, bro, your music? That's like saying the art that I made. And by the way, this is all my art. I didn't buy nobody. I didn't pay nobody off for none of this. Is all my shit right here. You know what I mean? That's like if someone was like, yo, Serbs, this looks like some bullshit or something like that. I'd be like, yo, go fuck yourself. Get out of my house. And you no longer invited to the fucking Palacio 81 Enterprises, homie. Like, this just like who, like, how you coming out the side of your neck like that, bro? Like, you better fucking watch who you talking to, bro. So that's why it's important to me that people actually support me. And this fool Doug, he's got me like in training for like my next 2 shows. every day he's come up to me. He's like, let me hear something. Let me hear something. And the first time he ever told me to spit for him, I was like, he caught me off guard. So I was like stuttering and stammering over like a few lines. But like now it's to where like, I'm like ready for it. I'm ready for him. I've been practicing every day and I'm ready for him to be like, yo, let me hear something. I just boom, it was me, him, one of my managers, and then the homegirl. We were like in the office, and he put me on the spot right in front of them, and I'm like, I kind of didn't want to spit because there's other people and other managers working around, and I'm rapping over here about guns and shit. I really didn't want to rap about my shit, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just let it fly, and if someone tells me to fuck off, I'm gonna just bounce, whatever. So I spit him Indy 500. Hey, yo, my mama said you need to be smart, work hard. Now that I got bread, push the key start, street smarts. That's what my pop said, contribute something to the family. I'm like Tony Soprano with ammo hidden in a valley alley. I spit him the whole thing, and like, I got up to the point, like almost to the end. He was like, stop, that's good, stop, that's it, no more, they gotta pay it after that. So that was really dope, man. I really appreciate that. Unlike these fake fugazi ass fools out here that are just like, oh yeah, you're fucking good, dog, you're good, and then they go and they post Travis Scott on their fucking Instagram or whatever it is. Like, you could just tell who really supports you and who don't, like who really believes in you and who doesn't. I could give a fuck if you don't like my music. At least try to have some sort of support. Like, yo, man, I don't know if I rock with that music, but keep going, man. That shit is hard as fuck. And you know what I mean? It's better than this whatever bullshit that we trying to do over here. I respect that a lot more than the fake bullshit out there. You know what I mean? Like when someone tries to finesse you. Remember on Le Finesse when I told y'all about this guy who set me up to get finessed at the LA show? Well, there's a part 2 to this. So he hits me up talking about, yo, because he sent me a beat. Because this is before the LA show, before he tried to finesse me. He wanted to do a song with me. He'd been wanting to do a song for me for like the longest time. But I told him, I'm like, yo, my services ain't free. Like, you got to pay for that. But then I was like, you know what? I'll just do like a song. Like, fuck it. Like, I was feeling generous that day, right? After the finesse, I was like, I could give a fuck about that song, right? I didn't even write nothing. Nothing got done out of that, right? So he hits me up and he's like, yo, is your verse done yet? And I'm like, no, bro, you never sent me. Like, I told you, get your verse done and just leave me with an open verse and I'll body it and I'll just send it back. And that's the song. He was like, all right, cool. So when he hit me up and he was like, yo, you got the song, your verse done. I'm like, no, bro, like, what? I fucking told you to get the song done and leave like an open verse. And he's like, all right, for sure. Well, I was thinking we could record at your crib. And I have like 4 other songs I want to record. I said, yeah, studio time ain't free, bro. Anyone out there that's thinking I have a free fucking studio because you live in fucking the IE or some shit like that, and you fully understand that I'm not gonna do no free shit, like, you're out of your fucking mind. Like, bro, you're not gonna be getting no free studio time out of me. Like, not now, not ever, bro. Unless you're like somebody I really, really respect and admire, like a Ray, like a Noah James. There's no freebies ever at all. Nowhere near. I need to make a new painting called, hey, yo, this shit not free. Or, this is not free. Fucking paid a price or some shit like that. That was a horrible sign. But you know what I mean? Think of it in your head. Like, whatever. Some better shit. But I don't give a fuck if we were homies in high school. Like, you knew me. You didn't even know. We weren't even homies in high school. Like, we had like 2 classes, science and fucking history or something like that. And then you ducked off and never talked to me after that. And you think you could just come to my studio and record whatever bullshit you think is gonna fly? Nah. I don't give a fuck if Santa Claus came and gifted me with a whole fucking studio. It's not gonna work. It's not how the that's not the way the dominoes drop, bro. Like I'm very, very serious when I say there's no freebies. My studio time is not free. My studio time is not free. Not today, not tomorrow, and not the next day, unless you have my blessings or respect. My cousin, he knows he could come through whenever. That's blood. That's a different story. We talking about his family over everything, bro. We talking about Noah James. We're talking about the man who gave me my first show, gave me my first look on stage, put me on an open mic. He's in the Old Town. He's representing. He's doing a lot of great things for other artists in the Inland Empire and local artists everywhere else. That man has anything, a fucking beat, a verse, studio time, a podcast, whatever. The homie Noah James, he's got the green light with your homie. Not the green light, but he's got it. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, services I could facilitate for the homie. All he got to do is ask, and it's for free. It's not like, you know what I mean? I'm not one of these fools that, oh, like you could, you know what I mean, hit me up whenever, and then when you do hit me up, I'm like, yeah, that'll be, you know, $250 or whatever. Like, that's bullshit. But if you're trying to finesse me, and if you're trying to be on some snaky, you know, beat around the bush type bullshit, it's not gonna fly with me. You're gonna have to pay. Studio time is not cheap, but it's a lot cheaper than you would go to these stupid, fancy, schmancy ass Hollywood studios that got the big speakers and the big control room and all this shit that you don't even need, bro. You don't need all that shit. All you need is a Mac, a MIDI, a preamp, and an amplifier. You might not even need a preamp and a microphone. And the most important part, you know what I mean? You don't even need speakers. Just bring headphones in that bitch. You know what I mean? I don't even understand where artists are today in their minds where they think, oh, just because I know this fool fucking, like, I met him 3 times in my life, I could just ask him for free shit. Like, you're high, bruh. Like, you're fucking a heroin high, bruh, like, off of that. You know what I mean? I think that shit is crazy. La Merca Superior 5-year anniversary. So 5 years ago, I made this album called, not even an album, EP called La Merca Superior. The cover is me holding the Uzi with the 16-inch barrel. It looks so stupid. It looks so cartoony, but it's kind of like, that's what makes it kind of look cool. But the reason why we put a 16-inch barrel on it was because that's what made it legal. And my dad actually took that picture, and I wanted to blur my face out because it was hot and shit. So like while he's taking a picture of me, I'm like I have like a stupid ass face, so I blur my face. I didn't blur the photo of my face out to look cool. I just blurred it out because I didn't like how my face looked, and that's the honest truth. That album came out between Solo-Fi Singles 2, The Dark Side, and For the Ladies. So while I'm working on Solo-Fi Singles 2, The Dark Side, which had featured Chava Styles and my cousin, and it had featured Historian is on it, Luis Blue is on it, or Louis Blue, Monk Mingus, whose nephew Hesh, if anyone still remembers that name, the homie Left Coast Ortiz, and I think that's all I had featured, right? Yeah, it's just Chava Styles and Mufasa. Yeah. So that was pretty much a lot of personal shit. I remember telling Float Lucid that was like my HBO, you know what I mean? To where, looking back at it, it's not a great album overall. In my opinion, I'm my own harshest critic, but I feel like I was just going through a lot. Like, I think I have on Henchata, literally one of my best homies, Josh, he committed suicide, and I didn't even get the news till like later, like a month or 2 weeks later, in November. And that's pretty much what kicked off Solo 5 Singles to the Dark Side. And the idea of that album came out because John Wayne has something called Wayniac Mondays, where he would put out a new song every Monday. And I think it was like 7 or 8 weeks or something like that. And it was pretty much like a whole EP. So I kind of took that idea and I made Serbosaurus Sundays. Yes, that's a corny ass fucking name. The Serbosaurus Rex. I was, you know what I mean? The homies would make fun of me, the Serbosaurus, you know what I mean? Like they would say like, you know, whatever. I was younger, right? Who gives a fuck? I flipped my name a million billion times. Evil Emperor Serbs, Serbs the Destroyer. I have a shitload of names. So Solo 5 Singles was all the Serbosaurus Sundays tracks, and I pretty much bit the whole Wayniac Mondays thing, where every Sunday I would drop a new song, and let's just say it was fucking 8 or 9 songs. That was the album, and I pretty much copied the whole thing. Every song had its own cover, and then the album actually had a cover versus Wayniac Mondays. It didn't have a cover for the whole compilation. It was just every song had a cover, and the cover is me in downtown Ontario sitting on top of the snake. And I gotta redo that photo too. I just thought of that right now. Gotta go back, gotta get ready to come through the old town, take some pics out here. So that was Solo 5 Singles. Solo 5 Singles 2 was actually not like the first one where I released a song every week. It was more so a whole album. I made a whole album about shit that was going on in my life, like, you know, Josh committing suicide. I talked about Jaime on there, just like loneliness. And that was all while I was in college. College was a crazy time for me, yo. I fucking failed a few fucking classes over my college period. Probably math, my introduction to Pro Tools class, which I should have aced, but Pro Tools is a real motherfucker. I think I failed art, or I got a D, which is like the same thing. You flunk out of that shit. But, and computer too, computer class. And it's crazy because I remember one day I was just skipping classes like all the time, and I did not give a fuck about college at all. Like after Raul, him too, but after Josh passed, it was like I could really give a fuck about anybody. Like it was just like fuck school, fuck college, like fuck everything, you know what I mean? And that's what Solo 5 Singles 2 is. It was just me like at a fucking super low point in my life, which I hadn't been in a while. You know, 2016, like right after Raul passed, that was like probably not rock bottom, but a bottom. I had a few rock bottoms, but that was rock bottom, or that was a fucking low point. And then going up, and then Josh happened, and then it was like a whole nother fucking fiasco for me. So basically what happened was I was taking my laptop to class every day, and instead of going to studying the curriculum and all this shit, I was making beats. So I have a few beats on Solo 5 Singles 2, like AR7s by the Holy Water, Hazardous. And I remember writing Hazardous by in the park by my house, like at 11, like late at night or some shit like that, on a notebook. And it's so crazy, like just like thinking about that album, and it just brings back all like the memories I had from that time. And it just bugs me out talking about it. So after that, I was thinking, you know what? I'm making beats. Why don't I just make a whole album produced by me? And I didn't want to overextend myself. Which is funny too, because I made Greenlight, the first Greenlight Insurance, the Dirty Dog discount in May. So Solo 5, no, it was, was Greenlight in 2017? I'm like so mixed up with my album. I've released so much shit that I don't even remember exactly what. It might have came out in 2017 or 2018, but definitely around that time type shit, right? So La Merca Superior was more so of like my style, what it is now, like just real like braggadocious type shit. Like Summer Night, She Wanna Ride on the Summer Night, Mommy Trippin', Hit It, Switch, You Gotta Cut the Light. Man, I'm dipping never like I can't even remember my lyrics off of that shit. Man, I'm dipping never tripping. What you thought I'm like? No fear in the face of fright. Coke here, wanna sniff a line. Mo beer, let me get a line. Yeah, she wanna ride in the summer light. Mommy tripping, hit a switch and try to cut the light. Man, I'm dipping never slipping. What you thought I like? Or and I even forgot the fucking the song name. I think it's just La Merca Superior. Post percentages, you niggas is shit and bricks. My nigga, I'm flipping, I'm killing shit. So whatever the fuck I said, right? So it's basically like 3 songs, 2 instrumentals, 5 tracks. That was La Merca Superior. And just thinking back on it, I'm like, wow, like that's how I knew I was going to be a great producer, because I produced the whole shit by myself. I don't have an engineer. I didn't have another producer to produce on this with me. So it was really all banking on me. And I just remember thinking like, this is fucking dope. You know, I still think it's dope to this day. So if you want to check it out, go stream La Merca Superior. It's on my channel under my albums playlist. And it's crazy because someone bootlegged it and put it on Audio Mac that December, like December 15th or something. I'm like, wow, you assholes can't even put the date. It was 7/7/2018, bro. Like, how do you not fucking understand? Like, oh my God, people are dumb as fuck these days. But I mean, when I post people's albums, I don't even put the release date. So I shouldn't even be talking this much shit. But what was I gonna say? Like Audio Mac, who's even heard of Audio Mac anymore, bro? I really don't. If anyone doesn't know, Audio Mac is like a streaming service platform. It's kind of like a Spinrilla. It's kind of like a DatPiff where you could stream songs, but really it's for you to download it and have it and just play it. You know, that was back when downloads were a big thing, the DatPiff era. Napster was in the beginning, like the godfather of all that shit. But I mean, you know, iTunes destroyed that shit, YouTube, all that. Like everyone destroyed, like the streams took over the downloads. Like it was downloads and then streams just destroyed it. Cause you don't need, like, why would you need to download something when you could just stream it at any point? When a great artist like The Hidden Character has his music only available on his Bandcamp for like however much money, and people either don't want to pay it or they don't want to pay for something that they don't think is good. So Hidden Character, if you're out there and you're watching this, I do not make any money off of your videos, and I won't. I'm very close to getting the channel monetized, and I'm going to hit you up about either getting some sort of percent, you know, you could keep most of the money, but I want a little bit. Like, I'm not going to take all your money, but I'm going to get a little bit. And I don't have to. I could just be like, fuck this fool and just take all his shit. But just, I love the Hidden Character's music. And if you're listening right now, I don't make no money off of your videos. Really, I want people to listen to the Hidden Character and be like, yo, this fool's dope, let me support. Because the Hidden Character, he do got vinyl out there. He do have CDs. He does have different purchase, different what do they call them shits? Platforms or whatever to listen to his music available for you to purchase. So I'm really just giving people a chance for them to hear your music and think, oh, should I buy it or should I not buy it? And it gives you feedback. You know what I mean? When people see, oh, like I didn't like this one, or they be like, yeah, this one was fire as fuck. Not every album's gonna be fire, bruh. Trust me. I've made like over 50 of them. I lost count at 50, you know? So there it is there. Shout out to the Hidden Character, man. Yo, similar symmetry, rock a op with the 9 pocket, rock a fuck a dime. Yo, I love that song, bro. Rap Money is definitely, like, if there's any album you're gonna pay for, you better pay for Rap Money, bro. That shit is a fire ass album. My pops bought a fucking 30 gun safe, bro. Who this guy think he is? Men in Black? The Men's in Blacks? Come on now, bruh. My dad is a wicked wino. I said, Pop, you really gonna have 30 guns? Like, honestly. He got 5, I got 2, that's 7. Still got 23 more to go, bro. That's wild. You know, he's already thinking of getting like this 22 rifle. I'm thinking about getting a fucking revolver. It's wicked, bruh. Like, we really out here like some cowboys, and I love it. I dig it. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? My next gun is either gonna be a revolver or it's gonna be a rifle. I'm leaning towards a revolver, but thinking about it a little bit more, I might go get a rifle, bro. I don't know. I really love rifles. Revolvers are cool. I really love revolvers as a kid. I love shooting the Python 22. And because the thing with the revolvers and shit, the ones I like are like 2 Gs or 1,500. Like, I ain't gotta spend 1,500 on a fucking revolver. Are you crazy? Unless it's like an original Colt 19 whatever, you know, or 18 whatever, 97 or whatever, Colt 45 or something that's like worth it. You know what I mean? I don't see myself buying no crazy ass revolver like that. Like the Ruger Vaquero, it looks hard as fuck. I think it's a Chambers in 45, but that's a crazy ass price tag right there. Versus like the other Ruger, like 38 special or 357. They're nice, but they're snub nose and like I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna do more of my homework, see what kind of rifles I like, the price, the revolvers, see what I like, because I don't want to buy some shit and then like not really like it. Like the Glock I really loved, and then when I bought the Bursa, it like I felt like I threw my Glock. I felt like it made me like be like, oh, fucking Glocks are lame. But then like after shooting the Bursa and going back to the Glock and really enjoying my Glock 19, it made me appreciate the Glock. Like, it made me appreciate what I had, you know what I mean? And that's what I want to what I want to be in. You spend like 500 on a firearm, you better enjoy that shit, you know what I mean? You better have some gratitude towards that shit, because if not, you might as well take 500 and light that shit on fire, you know what I mean? So that's what we kind of been at so far today. I helped my tia move, and it's crazy because I helped her move 2 years ago, and I helped her today, and she had so much trash in her garage. I felt like 80% of what we moved from my did I say my grandma? 80% of what we moved from my tia's house was like trash or shit that should be trash. You know what I mean? And I was like, tia, like this shit is all like cardboard fucking boxes and shoe boxes and shit that don't even have shoes you don't even have anymore. Like shit that she should have been and gone with the wind with, you know what I mean? So that was cool. So now my tia and my grandma and my other tia are gonna stay by my other grandma, which I thought was cool because now I could definitely get my photographer over there, and then they'll be together and we could do pictures together with my grandmas. I could always get them and take them to Ray, but I mean, realistically, you know what I mean, I'll have to pay Ray to go over, which isn't no fucking big whoop. I'll do it, but I'm just really glad that both of my tias and my grandma are having their own place, their own space, because my tia, she was living in like a little studio apartment in El Monte, like right by where I grew up, where her old house was. And it's like, bro, it's like, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say it's like a prison, but like, I'd fucking get sick of that shit. Like, you take a shit in the restroom, and you stink up the whole fucking house. Like, it's that small. You know what I mean? The garage ain't even like really it wasn't even really a garage. Like, you have anything bigger than a fucking Camaro. You have like a Camaro or anything bigger, and you don't even have a garage. You just have a place to put auto parts or whatever. You could fit 3 bikes in there, and that's drawing the line. You know what I mean? Like, just super small place. And the new place that they're renting out right now by where my other grandma lives, it's got like an avocado tree, it's got like a shed, it's got a bigger space. The house is really nice, something I think my grandma would appreciate a lot more than the studio apartment. So I think it's fucking tight, you know what I mean? Kind of sad that I won't see my grandma every day, you know what I mean? But I mean, hey, like, I know this kind of sounds selfish, but I really don't want to come home from work or like just find my grandma on the floor or something like that, or like she would fall, like she falls and shit. So like, and that fucks with me, bro. Like when my grandma fell the last time, and like her the side of her head right here, I don't know what you call this right here, but it was all purple and her eye was red, and like I was like, I didn't say shit to nobody, but it fucked me up the whole day. And I was like, I fucking can't even believe this bullshit right now. So I'm just glad my grandma and my tia got their own space. I helped them move. We ate at Townsend, which was awesome. I don't think I've ever eaten at Townsend. My tia Carmen has never had Townsend, and my tia Trini, she might have been there a long time ago. But it was funny because we seen this one waiter over there who speaks Spanish. And I thought he just learned Spanish from the university or some dumb shit like that. But this fool is actually from Mexicali. Like he grew up by the Cachanilla or whatever the fuck he said. Which it tripped me out because when I heard him speak Spanish, I'm like, this fool probably knows better Spanish than English. Because he was probably born and raised there. And when my mom told him that, oh, we're from Mexicali, he's like, paisanas, like, or something like that, like paisanas or some shit like that. Paisanas is like Italian, but like he was like paisanas or some fucking shit like that. I don't even remember. I was eating good food, but this restaurant, I don't even want to blow it up because I don't want nobody going back to this video and being like, yo, Serbs is at that one Chinese restaurant. Like, nah, I love my privacy. I love the Chinese food. I will give the menu away though. So it's got good seafood noodle soup. Pork fried rice is all right. The shrimp fried rice is better. Kung Pao chicken is off the chain. They got great rice. Rice is easy to fuck up, bro. A lot of people think you just put it in a pot and boil it and you're good. No, this is science to cooking great bomb fucking white rice. And they got it. They got great tea, jasmine tea, rocking with it all the way. Almond jello, the best thing off of the menu. And I don't know if it was because, I don't know if they changed the recipe up, but I remember like eating it. And I remember just being like, thinking when I was eating it, like, this is like watered down. This isn't the fucking almond jello I had. I don't know if that's I don't know if someone fucked up, put too much water in the thing, but that's what I thought when I was eating it. And I hadn't had, I hadn't been to that restaurant since the last time my whole family went there and ate for my grandma's birthday. I want to say 3 years ago. It was fire. Oh, the waiter who spoke Spanish. I remember my grandma asking him, ¿Tienes un toallita? And the server corrected my grandma and was like, una servilleta, which is a toallita is a little napkin versus a servilleta is like an actual napkin. And the funniest shit, when the dude was like correcting my grandma, like un servilleta, she was like, oh, like fucking, like when she said that shit, I was fucking cracking up, bro. I was like, yo, this dude fucked up and he didn't even know, you stupid motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? When my grandma does the like she's really making fun of your dumb ass because nobody's gonna correct my grandma for sure. Like, I remember what my mom said was, well, yeah, you know, that's proper Spanish. You're not supposed to say toallita, it's a servilleta, or whatever the fuck. And I told my mom, look, ma, I get that, all right? It's proper Spanish, yada, yada. Go fucking go Spain, right? My grandma's picked fucking strawberries in the field, bruh. My grandma has a fucking 3rd grade education, right? She had to wake up at 5 in the fucking morning to pick fruit. So yeah, maybe she don't speak the best Spanish, but guess what? Who gives a fuck, right? If you pick fucking fruit in the fields from when you was a kid to when you was a teenager or whatever the fuck, couldn't even get an education to support your fucking family, I'm pretty sure you would say whatever you wanted. And your family would let it fly. I mean, I would. I mean, that's how I was literally going to tell my grandma, like, yo, grandma, you want me to check this level out right here? Because I'll do it. Like, nobody, when I was living with my grandma, nobody was going to tell my grandma shit. And I remember my grandma would say shit to me when I lived with her. And I would literally tell my grandma, like, yo, you're literally the only woman. Not even my mom gets this pass. You're the only woman that could say shit to me. And I'm not gonna say shit because you fed me. You fucking beat my ass when I needed to. You picked me up from school. You fucking got on my ass about homework. Like, my abuelita Paco was pretty much took the role of my mom. My parents had to work. They left me with my grandma, left me with my tia. I was raised in El Monte, Bowen Park, West Covina, specifically with my grandma Paco. So whenever somebody gets crazy with my grandma or some shit like that, or disrespects my grandma in any way, I kind of go DEFCON 5. The war bells, the ding, ding, all the shit in my head, like, all the wheels start spinning because you're not gonna talk to my grandma like that. I don't give a fuck who you are, bro. I don't care if you graduated from the fucking Sonora Institute of fucking Spanish speakers and shit. Like, that don't mean dick to me, you know what I mean? I love my grandma forever, and the message of the day is take care of fucking the people who raised you and respect your elders, bro, because I have said slick shit out the side of my mouth to my grandma. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. But it wasn't nothing crazy. It was just like kind of like smart alecky shit, and I don't feel good about it. And with my grandma, I love her to death. Both of my grandmas forever. You know, my grandma Paco a little bit more than my abuelita Lola, but I love them equally in that they fucking took care of me. You know what I mean? And that's forever to me. That means a lot more to me than anything in the world. So pretty much, yeah, the matriarchy in our family, like, love your mothers. I know, I understand everybody got a different story. Not everybody mama was there for them. I understand that. But whoever it is, whoever that person's place in your life is, just treat them with respect and love them forever. This is the God's Hour.
Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. He wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now.
While the angels fly over my headstone.